Greetings and salutations from history's largest mining colony. Today I'd like to share some tips about gardening. I'd like to discuss seeds, Hugelkultur and Biodiverse Permaculture. I will start with Hugelkultur. The correct spelling is Hugelkultur. It's a German word, and essentially you're digging a large trench, 2 to 3 feet, and filling it with various backfill to create a self-feeding gardening system. I've developed a modified version of this. So we're drilling down 2 feet. We're starting off with sticks. Then we're shredding up cardboard. You can either cut cardboard to 1/2-inch strips or shred it. Then we're using scraps from the kitchen, backfill from the original hole. Then you can get manure blends from your gardening stores. Sprinkle in a layer of your seeds, your chosen seeds. And then what I use is mushroom compost. Mushroom compost is not compost for mushrooms. It is refuse from the farming of mushrooms. Essentially, when you purchase it, it will be a glorified mulch, but it is awesome for the covering of the seed layer, provides protection from the seeds. And then the final layer is a sprinkle of slow release fertilizer. In my case, I use dynamic lifter. This is awesome stuff. You can get 25 kilo bags for $27 Australian, and you'll probably never go through that in a year. All right. Now, I want to talk about sprouting beans. All you need is a couple of clean jars, and you'll punch through some air holes using hole punch or something similar. Try and get the holes facing outwards so you don't have sharp tags damaging the beans. You're going to fill a jar no higher than 1/5 of the way, because after you've soaked these beans for 12 hours overnight, they will expand probably just over halfway, and then the rest of the jar will be filled with growing sprouts. In winter they'll grow slower, in summer they'll grow faster. So after about a week, you're finished with a jar full of sprouted beans. So what you'll do in winter, once a day, you'll rinse these out. You fill it up, take the cap off, fill it up, fill it with water, pour it over the sink. After you put the cap back on, drain all the water out, and then get a tray to sit the beans at an angle so they can drain out overnight. So in summer you would rinse them out in the morning and the evening. In winter you'd get away with just the evening. Once the jar is full, you can grab a fork, pull them all out onto a plate, and you will have sprouts with the 2 halves of the bean still attached. So you'll have to shell by hand those bean halves off the sprouts and give them a rinse, and you'll be finished with a plate full of sprouted beans. Now, I find these much easier to digest than beans cooked in a pot. You'll obviously need zero heating to prepare them. You can eat them as is or use them as a noodle substitute, or I like adding them to ground beef. Next thing I'd like to talk about is seeds. I'll start with inexpensive versions of seeds. Bird seed, the obvious option. So 1.25 kilo or 2 kilo boxes of bird seed. Now, what's great about this is this will come in at $5 Australian, and they will probably expire before you use them all, unless you operating a farming situation. A no-cost option is sometimes the supermarkets will give away seeds as part of a promotion. And when you receive your receipt at checkout, they will give you free seeds, and these grow just fine. If you're looking for a ground cover, press is great. This is $2 Australian a packet with, I believe, 5,000 seeds, which is awesome. If you're going to grow veggies, try and stick to the organic seeds. You can get away with the $1.70 non-organic seeds. However, I like to collect seeds, and the organic seeds are worth the extra $3 or $4 investment. And people forget that flowers are edible. Try and find packets that will show edible flower insignia and pollinator attractant insignia. Depending on the region you're in, you'll have a map and a seasonal guide as to when to plant, and make sure that you keep all your seed packets after planting, because when the internet goes out, you will still have a hard copy reference to use for your unplanted or saved seeds. When you do collect seeds, make sure that you've kept all your desiccates from all your packet containers, so that when you store your seeds in a Ziploc or a dry jar, it'll help preserve them. And with regards to gardening, some people might be worried that there's a large investment involved. I found that there isn't. Funny to say, but I started using a claw hammer to create trenches to begin my gardening journey. For those that are prepared to invest a little, if you don't find these at your Fates or your garage sales or whatever, hand augers. Hand augers are awesome. This will save you having to spend all day digging a 3-foot hole or trench. It'll save you back, make light work of digging. And what I made for myself is a spork. So, take a normal gardening fork, cover the top half very strong duct tape, and you can use the bottom half tines for breaking up soil, and when you go on deep trenching, you can use the webbed area for shoveling. So $20 fork, and you've got a 2-in-1 tool. Other must-haves are an entrenching tool. These usually cost around $20 Australian. Try and get the variety that lock in at the right angle to make life easier. And a watering can. Make sure that if you buy a 9-litre watering can, you actually can carry it around and extend your arm safely without getting injured. So the great thing about bean sprouts is if you're in an apartment complex and you can't garden, or it's a week-long blizzard, you still have access to greens, which, as you know, is good for gut health. Not so much in the caloric sense, but it'll keep your immune system going. All right, well, I think that's everything so far. I just want you guys to, after you've had a look at Hugelkultur, research Biodiverse Permaculture. Just researching into this will make you feel good. It's so rewarding to replicate nature, or attempt to replicate nature, to create a closed loop, healthy system. An awesome proponent of this is Jeff Lawton, Geofflawton. This man is employed by Asian and Middle Eastern countries to turn their deserts green. And my personal favourite is Joel Salatin, JoelSalatin. He's a farmer in the US, and his story shows that it's possible to turn around from CAFOs to biodiverse farming, to permaculture farming, and it's an awesome motivational success story. So check those guys out and others on YouTube. Check their books out, and let nature teach you about life. All right. Remember, boys and girls, we are the AI.